Good morning, YouTube. Suboxone withdrawal day 9. Just wanted to let you guys know, I actually slept about 6 straight hours last night. I did wake up at 3 o'clock this morning, but that's in part because I went to bed at about 9 o'clock last night. I'm trying to maintain a normal schedule, so a consistent schedule, I guess. So anyway, I went to bed, slept all the way through until about 3 o'clock this morning, and got up feeling little sluggish, not bad, but my legs ache just a little bit. Nothing that a shower would not have taken care of. So my suggestion to all of you out there who are going through this, that literally the moment you get up to take a shower almost immediately, because it does help, it warms your body up. One of the things that I've learned through this just by reading is that your body is seriously lacking in magnesium. I think the magnesium actually interrupts a lot of the electrical signals that are misfiring in your central nervous system, CNS, and it helps, just from what I've read. Now, it's not going to help a lot, guys. You're going to, like I said, you're going to go through a little bit of pain, but it's worth it on the end. Every day I've woken up with a new sense of self. It's amazing the folds that you're kind of working your way through as you reach a more homeostatic place of functioning. And I think that's where we all want to get. I would like to talk about, number one, during this process, it was really important, intrinsically had a lot of value on me getting through this process. Some people feel like they need to be out and around people, and I get that. Other people feel like they just want to be alone with their own thoughts. And that's basically where I was at through this entire process, is just being alone with my own thoughts to process, basically everything that I was processing. And it's hard in the beginning, guys, because, our brain becomes accustomed to taking Suboxone. Suboxone being what is increasing your dopamine, and dopamine is what makes you feel happy, along with endorphins. You've got serotonin, then you've got something called GABA, gamma-aminobutyric acid. That is what controls your, basically your ability to calm yourself and relax. One of the things that I have learned is that when you're coming off of these drugs, your brain goes into shock. It goes into a state of shock, and it doesn't know what to produce as far as your dopamine is concerned to make you happy. So what happens is you crash and burn. Well, in our active addiction, as we were unnaturally raising our dopamine levels, we were also raising something called noradrenaline. Noradrenaline, when your dopamine plummets in the very beginning, is the only thing left that is functioning in a capacity that is beyond measure. And that is where a lot of the restlessness comes from. It is that adrenaline that is constantly coursing through your bodies, which is what gave us the energy, but coupled with dopamine, and now you're lacking, and that's where the withdrawals begin. Plus, you guys have a lot of new opiate receptors in your digestive tract, and those have to die out, and you've got to give them time to die out, because if you don't, you're just going to continue with the restlessness. Guys, look, you can sit there and look up, a million different ways to help with this, and there are things that do help. Part of this process is doing your homework, and I think if you really want it, I think, with the ability to inform ourselves the way that we can via the internet. I mean, I don't know about y'all, just about everyone I know has a cell phone that allows them access to the internet. There's so much information out there. You just have to look for it. And that's what I mean by taking responsibility for your own recovery. I knew what I was in store for. I didn't have an exact understanding because I had never been through Suboxone withdrawals. But I've been through opiate withdrawals 100 times. Remember, I broke my neck in a car accident 15 years ago. That's a lot of pain medication. That's 15 years worth of drug abuse, on and off for 15 years. So I've had my fair share of withdrawals. You learn, you live and you learn how to manage them. I will say never, ever take another opiate. You're just going to prolong your misery. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it. I have a new lease on life today, and I feel really good. And I want the same thing for you guys. Look, don't Don't read all the rhetoric about how bad it is. If you sit there and watch horror story after horror story after horror story, you're never going to come off it because you're going to be too afraid to come off it. And I don't know about y'all, but on Suboxone, I lived in constant fear. So it just played on those fears. It did. And if my insurance had not crapped out like it did in January, I would probably still be on Suboxone. Even though my brain was telling me it was time to get off. You know, we always want to take the road that's the easiest. You know, the hardest road is the one that's less traveled. But this goes back to how bad do you guys want it. So anyway, it's about 6:30 a.m., Suboxone withdrawal day 9. And I think throughout the day I'll make a few more videos just to touch base on certain things. Anyway, guys, you have a great day, and I know I will. Take care.